Hello and welcome to TP's Diary. This is my 1960 Jaguar XK150 and this is the second video of replacing the wheel bearings. Okay, so now I've got the hub off and see all the stub axle and everything, which doesn't really, all looks pretty normal. It did affect the plate that held on the bracket that held the brake caliper on, but that's okay. That just goes on there like that, and it's fine. I don't think there's a bit of wear on it, but it's fine. I don't think it's caused any damage really. I mean, I didn't drive it very far. Once I realised that the bearings had gone, I came home straight away. So yeah. So I don't think it's caused any major damage. So I've got the hub now on the bench. I'm just going to clean that up. I'll clean that up, and then effectively we go to put the whole thing back together. So things to watch out for: you've got to get the end float right. You've got to make sure that the bearings are not too tight on the stub axle, because they need to be able to push up against these faces and squish together. Yeah, so it's a relatively straightforward job. I mean, you don't have to have any professional help doing it. So yeah. So what I'm doing here is I'm just sanding the stub axle very slightly so the bearings move freely on the stub axle. The idea is that once the hub has been replaced and the castle nut has been done up all the way and then backed up one flat, that the end float doesn't exceed 0.127 of a millimetre. Just cleaning it up with a bit of brake and carb cleaner, just to ensure that there's no metal filings or anything like that left on there before I fit the bearing. It's very important when you change wheel bearings, or any bearing really for that matter, that you pre-pack it with grease before you put it in there. If there's too much grease, that's fine, but not enough grease could be detrimental to the bearing in the long run. So to tighten the castle nut up, what you do is you just tighten it until you can't actually tighten it any further. If you tighten it too much, the actual hub jams, but you then back it off one flat of the nut, and then you're ready to do the final adjustment and check the end float. So I'm just setting up my DTI here so I can measure the end float. I managed to find a fairly secure mounting point for the magnetic mount on the top wishbone, and so I'm just checking for a 0.127 of a millimeter movement.
Okay. So what we have to do now is wire these so they don't undo.
So when you wire bolts or nuts on an old car, it's like an early form of a nylock, and what you find is in the bolt heads, like in this instance holding the brake caliper on, it actually has a hole. So you just slide the wires through. It's a stainless steel wire that I use, and you'll notice it actually in the end it makes quite a neat job. So the next part of the job is to reconnect the brake lines. On my car, it has a flexible line to the front of the hub assembly, and then it has a hard line that actually then goes to the brake caliper. I don't know whether this is actually standard on the car or not, and maybe it's just bespoke to my car. But either way, it's a bit irritating because any work on the hub, or you take the disc off or whatever, you have to brake. You have to then bleed the brakes afterwards after you finish the job. So I think what I might do is actually have a separate project and change these hard lines to flexible lines, so I can remove the brake caliper without having to then bleed the brakes afterwards.
So we'll just literally slide this in. And then put these pins through. That's one. That's two. And then the last little job. Pin to hold that in. And there we have it. That is now done.
So I did actually pack the whole hub full of grease before I put the wheel on, but I haven't actually managed to show you in this video. The other thing I did was actually use copperies all over the splines of the wheels, just to make sure it's a bit easier to be able to take them off in the future. So the driver's side's the same process. So yeah, we'll have to remove the wheel. Then we go ahead and take the brake pads out. Remove the hard brake line and the flexible line at the front of the hub assembly. Then we take the caliper off. And now I'm using a special tool to push the pistons back into the brake caliper. Then remove the split pin and the castle nut and the hub itself. Then we have to get the old bearing off. I then remove the bracket that's there to hold the brake caliper on. I just needed to take this off so I could actually inspect it, because there was a little bit of damage because the bearings had failed. Now I just cleaned everything up and got it ready for the new bearings. So this car's fitted with an electric power steering system, and when the bearings failed, they damaged the sensor, because it needs a wheel speed sensor to adjust the resistance on the steering when you're traveling at sort of a faster speed. So I had to sort of spend a bit of time and get all the bracketry for this straightened out so it can be reused. I'm now starting to put all the bearings back onto the hub and getting the hub now onto the car. Castle nut is going on. Yeah, this side had a few issues. It basically, as I pushed it onto the hub, the big washer on the outside behind the castle nut hit the seat on the stub axle, so I had to take it off a couple of times. This is the special pulley you have to use in order to get the splined hub off the car. So I'm just checking the clearances for the brake caliper, making sure that the brake disc runs in the center of the brake caliper. So now I'm just checking the end float, which was the same as the passenger side. And now putting the split pin through the castle nut to secure it in place. Now tightening all the bolts up for the brake caliper, wiring all the caliper bolts in place, same as we did on the passenger side. And finally, we're now just connecting all of the brake lines and getting it ready to bleed the brakes.
Start talking. So now you can talk. You can talk. Right. So that is. Okay. Yeah. So right. I've now finished everything. I've got my friend Stuart here, who's going to come and he's here to help me bleed the brakes. So Stuart's going to jump in the car. Yeah. I'm going to start pumping the. Stuart's going to. Let's start that again. Ready? Okay, I've got my mate Stu with me. Stuart's going to jump in the car and start pumping the brake pedal to help me bleed the brakes. So we're going to crack on with that right now.
Yeah, let's go. Put that cushion across.
Yeah. Do you want to just jump in?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. Just jump in. Don't leave your ballot there.
You alright? Yeah.
mate.
Ready?
Yeah. Down. Keep it. Remember that you press it to the floor and leave it at the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. Sit down.
Yeah, it's down.
Okay. Up.
So what I was trying to do here, for those of you who don't know how to bleed brakes, is that you're trying to remove all the air out of the brake lines, and by pushing the pedal to the floor in the car with the bleed nipple open, you're actually forcing the air out of the system. And then what you don't want to do is suck air back into the system again. So what you have to do is you have to shut the bleed nipple off, and then bring the pedal back up, and you can repeat that process until you get a nice hard brake pedal. And again, I greased the hub before actually fitting the wheel. I didn't have this on camera, so quite straightforward. What you do is you use a grease gun, put it on the grease nipple, and you pump the hub while spinning the hub until you see a small amount of grease ooze out behind the washer, which is situated behind the castle nut.
So I have now done both sides. This side was a bit more tricky than that side, weirdly. There's a big washer that goes on between the nut and the bearing, and it's like the hole in the middle is a D shape which fits over the drive shaft, or the hub, and the hub's got a flat on it, and it's basically designed to stop the washer spinning. Anyway, when I put this one on and did it up, that washer hit the seat of the shoulder on the stub axle. Really weird. So anyway, to get round that, I had another washer, so I drilled the hole in the middle so it was 20 millimeters, and I put that on and then pushed it up, and suddenly all the clearances seem to be okay. So I hope that that's going to be okay. I think it does. It feels okay, and I've got the end float sort of about right. I hope it's not too tight. So I'll soon find out when I drive it down the road, and I hope that I've now cured it. I don't want to do this again because it's actually scrabbling around on the floor is not a great deal of fun. It'd be nice if I had a lift, but I don't. So I have to do it with axle stands and on my knees. So that's it for that video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe. And there's going to be more videos coming very soon.